Sweaters, gloves, hats you're getting for Christmas are getting put to immediate use, right? Let's go to where it's raining, and that's for a lot of us in the South this morning, including Atlanta. Merry Christmas to you in Atlanta. Can't even see the tops of the buildings right now because the clouds, they're low, they're bringing rain, though it's very warm outside. So not a snowflake in sight in parts of the South, but instead it is all rain, even some thunderstorms moving through central Alabama and southern Florida as the day goes on. Now, as the day goes on and we see more thunderstorms, we could have more delays perhaps at some of our airports. Hopefully not. Our airports, for the better part, can actually handle thunderstorms as long as they don't happen right near the airport, or the winds don't get too strong, or the visibility is too low. Here's our entire system. It's really dragging a cold front across parts of the South and the Southeast that's going to really take the better part of today and tomorrow to move through. So as we clear out this afternoon in Alabama, it's still going to be raining in Georgia, eastern Tennessee, the Carolinas, and then tomorrow we'll see some improvements in Georgia while the Carolinas still see some rain. Fierce thunderstorms between Birmingham and Montgomery right now. This is going to continue to move to the east, so heads up for you in Georgia or any traveling along the I-20 corridor. That's what we have to contend with this morning. There's already ponding out on the roadways, a lot of our major interstates. So if you're traveling locally to try to get to family this morning, give yourself extra time despite the fact that there's not a lot of people out on the roads. There's a lot of water on the roads. So here we go. The timing for you: clearing out in Alabama and western Tennessee, middle Tennessee by the later half of today, while the rain continues Atlanta, the North Georgia mountains up towards Asheville, Columbia, South Carolina, as well as Greenville, South Carolina. Charleston seeing rain all today, all tomorrow, as the moisture kind of gets focused right along the coastline for tomorrow as our cold front is moving to the east. Now, there is a little bit of potential there for some flash flooding, especially when we bring elevation into play. So the North Georgia mountains up towards Asheville, parts of the Smokies, just be aware that flash flooding as you're traveling to and from Christmas, to and from friends and family, that there is the potential to have a lot of water there on the roadways. But Jordan, we know this isn't only going to stay in the South. We're actually going to see some rain moving way up north, which normally this time of year you would think, okay, moisture, snow, maybe.
Snow.
No.
We should be getting snow. We're getting record highs.
Check out a few of our festive cities for this Christmas day, including Eggnog, Utah. I didn't know there was an eggnog in the United States, but now you know, right? It's a little bit chilly, where we're going to slowly warm up to the upper 30s by this afternoon, but the nights for the next really week or so are going to be very cold in the teens and 20s. How about Santa Claus, Arizona, where it is warm today, starting off chilly, but by this afternoon near 60, and that's exactly where we're going to stay for the remainder of the week. How about Noel, Missouri, where we don't have rain today, but we do have some chillier temperatures. And then eventually, as we get towards the second half of the week, we get even colder, especially in our morning time frame, where Friday waking up well below freezing, and that continues right through the weekend as we start to welcome in the new year. How about Joy, Illinois, where we have rain today, as so many of us do, but by Wednesday, Jordan, maybe mixing in a few of those snowflakes, getting a little more festive.
That would be so cool.
In a big way. In fact, we've got a huge area under blizzard warnings from South Dakota all the way down to northern Kansas, stretching over even into Colorado. So here we go. Major interstates, I-70, I-80, I-90, all a mess. Visibility dropping very low already in a lot of places where the snow is falling at a really good pace, and we've got a lot of wind. Before all is said and done, these are some of the snowfall totals that we're looking at. We could see some spots, maybe overperforming spots that reach 2 feet of snow, but as a whole, a lot of people reaching at least a foot of snow, 12 to 18 inches of snow there in central portions of South Dakota. If we could spread this out over a lot of the lower 48, more people would be seeing a white Christmas, but it's very confined in this one area of the northern and central plains. Big system, a lot of rain to the south and to the southeast of this low pressure system and a trailing cold front. But there's our low, and keep this in mind when I show you the map in a minute, showing you where the low is going to be in the next 24 hours. But behind this low pressure system, system. We still have the moisture, but we have the cold air coming down from a high pressure system just off to the north and to the northwest. And in between that high and the low, we have a lot of wind, as typically what happens when you get squeezed between those two areas of high and low pressure. So we've got wind speeds getting close to 40 miles per hour in some places. We have seen some reports already this morning, upwards of 40 miles per hour. Icy conditions in Sioux City as well as Sioux Falls, Omaha, seeing a little bit of ice as well. And that's the zone that's not so much fun, right? When we get that ice, you're right on the border of freezing. You've got some warmer air aloft, and it just makes for a mess out there. So keep an eye on this low pressure. I'm going to draw where it is right now, but watch, it actually moves back towards the west. We call this retrograding, and as it does, we're going to see a lot of snow in South Dakota all the way down to Nebraska. And look at some of these wind speeds. We're talking 50 miles per hour. Valentine, North Platte, up towards the Pier area, even Bismarck gusting to 35 miles per hour. And keep an eye on that pink color too, because that's where the zone of ice is going to be. So yes, you want a white Christmas. Maybe in some places, Jordan, this is more than what you bargained for, but you don't want an icy Christmas.
No, because then you got power outages, of course, and no one wants to deal with that. So bottom line, stay inside if you can. I know